Hey, what's up guys? Ben Clark here for Adapt to Perform. And if you've been watching my videos recently, you might have noticed a little change to my wheelchair. And if you did, well done for being so observant. But that little change is these things right here, the blue grips that I've got on. And these are called RibGrips. And these are a Pushrim cover that is designed to make your life a little bit easier. But I'm going to get more into that after the intro. So, just for clarification, before we start this video was actually sponsored by RibGrips. They sent out the product to me, they're paying me for this, so you can take all what I say with a grain of salt, but hopefully you can trust me by now, guys. So, with this, I want to just explain to you what the RibGrips are to start with. So, when I got them, I was pretty excited to try them out, because for me personally, being a quadriplegic, my grip isn't great, and my regular Pushrims, they've worn down a bit. They were grippy to start with, but they wore pretty quick. Just regular rubber coated metal ones. And it meant that when I was going uphill or downhill, I wasn't getting the best grip, and I got myself into some hairy situations, let's put it that way. So yeah, excited to get them in. They sent me over two. I got the blue ones and some black ones as well. And instantly out of the box, the first thing I noticed that I didn't really expect is how soft they are on the hand. So I installed it, which I'll show you in a second. But put them on, and just how comfortable they are on my hands. It's actually a huge difference to what it was before. It feels really nice on my hands, and my skin, for a start, has got a lot better since I've been using them. So that's a really great little point about them. And then yeah, I think it's probably best that I move on to the installation process itself now. So I'm going to show you the video of how I did it, and I'll talk over the top of it, alright?
Okay, so here is the installation of the RibGrips themselves. When they came out of the box, they just sort of look like a big floppy necklace, and all you got to do is just to push them on. It's actually a really simple process. There's some links online you can check out on their website of how to install, but for me, I thought it was pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I thought I'd just do it without the guides as such. And it's simple to start with. You just push it on, just sort of wrap it around the nearest to you, and then just work your way around. That's all it is, working your way around. And even with my hands, they don't work too great. Still a pretty simple procedure. So, and I did find at some points, you put one on and then the other side would come off, but it wasn't that bad. Especially the second and third time I installed it. I think straight out of the factory it might be a little bit stiffer. So yeah, you get that little bit of flexibility after the second or third time, and obviously you get used to it a little bit more. So yeah, just feeding it all the way around, and then getting to the end, just wrapping it around. Once I did that as well, I just went around the rim and just made sure it was in the right position. So yeah, as you can see, it didn't take me very long at all. So for me, if I'm going out and it's just I want to take these on and off, it's not a huge issue or a huge problem. So that's always good to know.
So as you saw, it was a pretty simple installation process. Even for my quadriplegic hands, I managed to do it alright. Some people might struggle if you haven't got that wrist extension and that, but even for someone else, it's pretty simple. Now, for the purposes of review, I didn't glue these on. That's something that I would do permanently, but I wanted to take them on and off and test them in different situations. So yeah, just to be aware that some of the things I'm going to be talking about through the video, I didn't glue them on, but it will be improved significantly with that. Let's move on to that testing that I was talking about. So with the testing, I thought that why not just set up a little thing outside and just test the pushing efficiency. As I said with my old rims, or the rims I've got underneath these ones I should say, I was starting to slip and that, and I thought why not go 10 metres up the corridor, turn around and come 10 metres back. Very simple test, and then we can see if it's quicker or not basically. So here's my testing, and I'll talk to you at the end.
So the first thing you notice is how quickly I get off the line and up to speed, and that's because of the grip levels of it. Also, turning on the spot at the other end was really easy. This is on carpet as well, you know how hard carpet is. One thing you'll notice with the regular grips is that I'm just slipping loads. I'm trying to push my arms through and it's not happening, and you can see the results there is that it's a lot easier to push with them.
So there you go. With that testing, I think you can pretty much see how much more efficient my pushing is. Every push I get further, I do it quicker, and that is amazing. You know me guys, I always go on about how important shoulders are for long-term health. If we can make our pushing much more efficient, so we're pushing less over a distance, so you could do like 100 pushes instead of 130 pushes, for example. Think that over days, weeks, months, years, decades, it's going to make a huge impact on our shoulders. So for me personally, this could be a potential lifesaver in terms of my shoulders. So I highly recommend it on that front. Now, I wanted to move the testing on and do some more of it. However, with my videos, I tend to go out, test it, and then I come back, write down how I'm going to film the video, and then go out and film it. However, in the process of writing down and going out filming, there was a certain global pandemic that's happening right now. So I couldn't go outside. But I'm going to explain to you a little bit about how my experiences were, and in a later date, when I can get outside, I'll refilm this bit and show you personally, so you can wait for that. But I think you guys can trust me by now in terms of my experiences going outside. So the first thing is going on uneven surfaces as such. So, for example, when I'm going over like gravel or wet surfaces, one fantastic bit about it is that I combined it with the free wheel, and this was an amazing combination. So I know a lot of you already have a free wheel out there, but if you don't worry, it is still great in this situation anyway. So I was going over some gravel, some wet surfaces, and these just meant that it gripped and gripped and gripped way longer than it did. I went out in heavy rain at one point just to see what it was like, and it's going to get slippery. It's not going to be perfect, but these performed hell of a lot better. I could actually push the wheelchair as opposed to not being able to push it. Yes, it was slipping, but the wet weather capabilities was absolutely fantastic. And then combining with the free wheel, going off-road on gravel, loose surfaces and that, I just could keep going, and my traction was a lot better because of that. Okay, so moving on to now what it is with going uphill. So uphill is obviously a very important thing to do in a wheelchair. We don't live in a completely flat world, that would be lovely. But yeah, so we have hills around. And the hills is where the RibGrips come into their own, in my opinion. Going up a hill is such an easier experience. You can combine these, if you're a weak quadriplegic, with the electric hub motors, and you combine those and you've got a thing that can go up anything. It's absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe how easy it was to get up hills in comparison to before. I could push. Before I was slipping as I was going up, and I would do loads and loads of pushes, rest all the halfway up. This, up in one go, no assistance even on the steeper hills. Such a good thing. However, the one thing that is the negatives towards the RibGrips, which I'm going to move on to now, is going down hills. Now, for me personally, before, because my my grips weren't grippy, I could just sort of hold on and control the descent. With this, because they're so grippy, it's actually really hard to control the descent. So, for example, if I come up to the top of the hill and then come back down the other side, I have to keep stopping, holding, holding all the way down, rather than sort of glide my way down nice and easily. That's not the worst thing in the world. I think that the pros outweigh the cons, personally. But it does move on to one other thing that I wanted to mention about it, and that is combining with an electronic rear motor, something like the Smart Drive or the Smooth. So if you combine those with this, that's where it starts to have a problem, in my opinion, because when I'm controlling the Smart Drive or Smooth, I'm sort of gliding, holding it down, and sort of doing slight adjustments. You can't do slight adjustments with this, okay? It's pretty, you're gripping, so it's going to turn quite quickly. So for example, when I'm going out with a Smooth, I found that it was gripping. Also, if I'm wearing some sort of jumper or that, and I'm got the Smooth on, it grips and it sort of pulls me down a little bit more because it's so grippy against that material. So if I was looking at this and I was wanting to develop these further myself, personally I would maybe go for a couple of different grades of thickness of the grip stuff. So you could have your different levels of ability. So for somebody who's like higher quad, it's thicker or longer things, and then I would reduce it down and have some like less ridges. You'll see it in the products. It's got these ridges, and if they were slightly less, I think it would be a little less grippy, and that would be perfect for sort of those in-between users like myself. So what are my final thoughts on the RibGrips? Well, I think you guys have pretty much seen from the fact that I've been wearing these a lot in the videos. It's such an amazing product. It makes life a hell of a lot easier in a wheelchair. And I was actually honestly shocked. I thought, it would just be grippy like my Pushrims used to be, but they're so grippy and so good. And it means I can do amazing things a lot easier, like doing back wheel balance, for example, popping the wheelie and going over curbs. It's a hell of a lot easier. I don't have to struggle to do it or like prepare for myself. I can just sort of do it a little bit more naturally. So in terms of who I think this is for, I think if you're somebody who's got good grip in your hands, then you might be okay with your regular push rims. But if you're somebody who maybe isn't as strong, you get tired easily when pushing your wheelchair, or if you're somebody with like a grip or some upper limb disabilities, these are, in my opinion, almost essential. Like, I honestly can't believe how much they've changed my situation in such a short time. And yes, I'm not going out as much and not being able to film going out, but in the time that I did before, I was like, wow, this is a huge difference. And yeah, I can't recommend them enough. As I said, at some point I'm going to glue these on, because one of the things that happened, I didn't want to put this in the con section because I think it would be unfair to give it this as a con, but if you don't glue it on, it can come off. I mean, you haven't attached it, so it can come off. But they are easy to get on and off, so it's not too much of an issue in my situation. I haven't found it. And because I'm using it with the electric drive, I'm using the smooth often when I'm out and about, I sort of switch between the two. So if I'm going for a short journey in town, I can pop these on quickly. If I'm going for a longer journey, I can pop the smooth on and just take these off. So really versatile for me just to not have them on. But yeah, I think that sort of wraps up the video. I want to say a huge thank you to RibGrips themselves for sending out these and letting me review them for you guys and to show you guys. I know I've had a lot of questions about them recently, so I'm really pleased to be able to show you this video and get this out. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you did like this video and you want to see more like this, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe as well. I've got some other review videos, including the smooth and the freewheel, and some various other bits and pieces that are coming along the way. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and if you're currently watching this and you're in lockdown, I hope you stay safe and that you and your family are doing okay. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon.